Check, 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 check. Is this on? Check, check. Nice, nice. On. Good morning and welcome. Welcome to Austin and our bridge project kickoff. It's not lost on me that Mike Doherty, the communications director of the MnDOT, who has all the skills in the world to be a communicator, puts me at the MC table. I don't know how that works. He's not even saying anything. So I get the daunting task of introducing the dignitaries here today, and we're super happy that they're here. What a project. We certainly appreciate MnDOT. Going to put 6 bridges in Austin in a little over 2 years. That is outstanding. The attention that we're being paid by the state and the federal government is just outstanding. We certainly appreciate it. We in Austin fancy ourselves figuratively bridge builders. Now we're literally becoming bridge builders by having these structures being replaced that you see behind me. The one here is built in 1959. Certainly served its useful life. The rest of them in that same general time period. But again, we have a lot of diversity in Austin. That's why I reference our bridge building, because we do think of ourselves as of a place where people can come and feel welcome. And now the transformation of our city with the new bridges is just one more feather in our cap and be certainly inspirational to all our residents and the motoring traffic. So thank you and welcome to Austin. First out of the gate, we organized them by height. So these Governor Walz, the tallest maybe in the group. I'd like to welcome Governor Walz for a few words. And I did tell most people here that because I'm the MC, I had to dig up some dirt on the folks. So Governor Walz.
See what he did there?
Yeah, digging the dirt, right. So Governor Walz, our 41st governor of Minnesota, the pride of Chadron State College, go Eagles. And prior to serving as the governor of Minnesota, he was 6 terms to the U.S. Congress. So welcome, Governor Walz, to Austin, Minnesota.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you, Mayor, and thanks for the bio on this. But I'll have to tell you, I think you're going to hear from both the senators and the biasness towards southern Minnesota and the ability to these vibrant cities down here. Mayor, thank you for your leadership. Thanks for making it clear the growth, the vitality, the safety of this area is critical. And Austin is unique with all these bridges, and they get, again, stealing the thunder there. The mayor was exactly right. This is about building community and connecting community, whether it's the ethanol plant in Lyle or getting over the Cedar River, or folks going back and forth for commerce here. That's just critically important. A huge thank you. I think many of us, I had the privilege of serving with Jim Oberstar on the Transportation Committee in the House, and proud of the work we did on the highways that we could, but absolutely generational, transformational work that Senators Klobuchar and Smith and the folks did in Washington over the Bipartisan Infrastructure Act. This is truly what we've been waiting for decades. And this is one of the first projects in Minnesota that's benefiting from that. It takes local, it takes state money, and then it takes the federal investment. These things don't get done without that. So I think all of you recognize that. I'm going to send the big thank you from MnDOT and the folks planning around this, the folks who will work on this, to the contractors who will bridge this. We have 49ers here. You're going to hear from them, some of our construction trades. These are middle-class sustaining jobs, union labor that's going to build these things. This is a city that was built on that and understands it. So this is a win-win-win all the way down the line. I am just these projects and the groundbreaking. I kept saying, we were talking with my staff on the way up, like every week for a year, I was saying, when are we going to start breaking ground on these infrastructure acts? When are we going to start breaking ground on them? Well, it's coming, and it's appropriate. We're starting here in Austin. It's a big deal. This is going to be great. And I'm going to make the case. Minnesota was recently named having the best roads in America. And that is a whole lot of people with MnDOT, with local, with state, and with our federal partners. So I have to tell you, our voice of Minnesota is echoes across the country, seeing the leadership that these two senators provided help get this thing over the finish line. So it's always a privilege for me to introduce our senior senator, Senator Klobuchar.
Well, thank you so much, Governor. Thank you, all of you. I was just in Harmony. You're a little taller than me, Governor. There we go. I was just at Harmony Industries in Harmony, and they have a daycare attached. It's pretty cool. And I just, by the way, Mayor, got to visit the soon-to-be opened daycare here in Austin, which is great that Hormel's involved in. But anyway, I was there, and I got to meet with 3- and 4-year-olds about leadership, trying to explain what Washington does. And one kid raises his hand at the end and says, "Where's the money?" So now I'm going to answer that the money is come here to Austin, Minnesota. And we are really excited. Senator Smith and I worked together on this project to make sure there was this major federal grant of $25 million, supplemented with the $19 million in state and another million or so locally, that's made it possible with the governor's leadership, with the mayor's leadership, and thank you to Nancy as well, to be able to upgrade these bridges. And what I love about Austin is you don't just come to us with one bridge, you come to us with 9 bridges in 6 locations. And what was great is I love an economy of scale. So we were able to pitch this as one big project so that they all could get done instead of separate ones. So very smart planning to our local and state leaders. I-90, as you know, brings thousands of people to and from Austin every day. It is a big deal. It connects Austin and our state to the rest of the country, a critical driver of our economy, not just in southern Minnesota, but in our entire state. It takes people to visit the largest Hormel plant in the country, to students commuting to Riverland Community College, to tourists visiting the world's international only spam museum. That's what it does. And it is particularly important that we keep our bridges updated. No one knows it better than our state, that beautiful summer day when the 35W bridge collapsed, or what we just saw of the Key Bridge in Baltimore and the effect that had on their regional economy because of the port. As I said the day the 35W bridge fell down, a bridge just doesn't fall down in the middle of America, but it did. And when it does, we rebuild. And what we are doing here with this fantastic workers is that we're making sure that doesn't happen. We're making sure that we're ready, not for the last century, but for the next century. This funding was part of the bipartisan infrastructure law, and these investments couldn't come any too sooner. The current bridges, as you know, built back in the 1950s and the 1960s. This is going to make driving down I-90 a smoother and more enjoyable experience, as long as everyone follows the speed limit. Sometimes you make decisions that are popular for one day, but may not stand the test of time. These infrastructure projects, they stand the test of time. Okay. So thank you so much for the good work. And I want to introduce my friend, and truly my friend, unlike when most senators say someone is their friend and they don't really mean it. My friend and colleague, Senator Smith. Oh, Mayor.
That's right.
Did you want to introduce me again?
I have some nuggets on Senator Klobuchar. I didn't get to share, and I think
good.
I'm going to step back in here a little bit.
Okay, no, go ahead. I'll stand here while you do it. Yeah,
I'm guessing that
maybe you won't do bad
Senator
things.
Klobuchar, our United States Senator since 2007, this was probably a very similar speech she gave when she was valedictorian of Boys out of high school.
That's true. I was.
Right
Yes, I was.
So
yes.
Thank you, Senator Klobuchar, for coming to Austin, and I appreciate those words. Thank you.
Hey,
Next up in the height lineup is our Senator Tina Smith, been a U.S. Senator now since 2018. Little fun fact, she was born on March 4th, which March 4th as a date is also the only date that's actually a command, March 4th. So Tina, our state senator Tina Smith has been marching forth in politics since about the 90s, through several campaigns of Hubert Humphrey and other. Mayor Rybeck served in his staff, and then Lieutenant Governor in 2015. So now I'd like to welcome to the microphone our U.S. Senator Tina Smith.
Thank you, Mayor. So I hope you all appreciated how Mayor King reinserted himself as MC after Governor Walz and Senator Klobuchar totally took over this event. It was well done. It was well done. Well, I'm very happy to stand with all of you and to stand with all of you, leaders at the federal level and at the state level and at the local level, to celebrate this fantastic bridge project. You know, it feels like it was just yesterday that we were here to announce the federal funding that is supporting this project. And so it's great to be back here today to celebrate this groundbreaking for all of these new bridges along Interstate 90. So congratulations, everybody. This stretch of the interstate was built back in the 1950s, and it has served us so well. But like many roads and bridges across this country, it is ready for an upgrade. And I want to just note and thank President Biden's bipartisan infrastructure law that Amy and I worked so hard on. Because of that, projects like this are getting done all over the country, and it is making a huge difference for communities like Austin. Thanks to the $25 million, the grant that we were able to deliver, we are finally able to make these crucial investments to improve how traffic flows, to reduce and improve safety, reduce traffic snarls, and to build a transportation system in this community that is truly up to the tasks and the demands of the 21st century here in Austin. And I love also the other improvements that are being made, like paths for pedestrians and bicyclists that are going to go even further to connect people in this community to their jobs, to their work, to their education, and to everything that this amazing community has to offer. And I want to point out also that the strong provisions in the bipartisan infrastructure bill for around project labor agreements and prevailing wage and made in America mean that projects like this are offering a huge advantage to American workers, like the workers represented here today by the operating engineers. I-90 is a vital national transportation route, and it connects Austin and Minnesota to the whole country, whether that be the Mayo Health System, Hormel Foods and the Hormel Institute, Riverland Community College, and the literally thousands of enterprises that are all throughout this community. So this project will literally build bridges in this community that will make it stronger and more resilient for decades to come. And as we break ground today, we're not just laying the foundation for a new bridge, but we are laying the foundation for a stronger, more resilient community here in Austin. So congratulations to everybody here. I'm so proud to be here to help celebrate this excellent groundbreaking, and I'm looking forward to the ribbon cutting now, Mayor. Thank you, everyone.
Also, I want to mention that Tina Smith went to Stanford, which last I checked, Stanford is where you go when you can't get into St. Mary's College in Winona. Appreciate somebody's got to go to Stanford. It might as well be you. Also on the invitation list, but unable to make it, our U.S. Representative Brad Finstead. But we want to honor him regardless. He just couldn't make it. His schedule wouldn't allow, but we don't want to minimize his impact. We certainly appreciate what he's doing for in the U.S. As representative for our country and for our state. He was a 3-term legislator in Minnesota prior to his special election in 2022. And we'd just like to recognize him for his efforts on this project too. Also not making it today is our Senator Gene Dornick for our region. Gene is a hardworking guy, fancies himself. He'll tell you he's a union carpenter. That's who he is. He's just a bread and butter, nuts and bolts kind of guy. And we really love the work he's doing for our region and like the impact he's making up in the state for us. So Gene can't make it. We're sorry he's unavailable to be here. Next up is Representative Patty Mueller. Patty Mueller, for those that don't know, she misses nothing. If there's an event, if there's anything that it can be at, wants to be at, she is there. And so there's no doubt that she wanted to make this coming out of St. Paul during a session, but she wanted to make this. She is ultra available to the city of Austin, her residents in 23B. So we appreciate what she's doing for the state of Minnesota and her impact she's making down here in Austin. So Patty, welcome to the microphone.
Thank you so much for being here today, and thank you so much for the cooperation that we're seeing through all levels of government, through city, state, and federal. This is truly an effort that is cooperation between all of the areas of government. That is exactly how it should be done. You know, what's so amazing about being the representative in this area is that not only do I have generational farmers, but I also have in rural Minnesota, the only 500 Fortune company in Hormel, and being able to see this type of generational investment is such an important thing. Austin's been getting a lot of attention lately in the sense that we are seeing that we've gotten $14.5 million for our wastewater treatment plant, that we were able, yes, very exciting to be able to work with the leadership to be able to get that investment, that we're able to get investment, hopefully in the bonding bill coming up in the Hormel Institute, and that we're able to see their medical advancement and research continue. But I-90 really is the connector of all of them. Connector of when we have people from all across the country coming to our groundbreaking research facility, our innovative, we have innovative research, we have just state-of-the-art education, state-of-the-art medical facilities. It really is a place to be where we can gather together and be able to make generational investments right here. So thank you so much for being here. With that, thank you so much to MnDOT, for the senators, and for the governor to be here so that we can celebrate together something that is such a vital part of our community. And God bless you.
Thank you, Representative Mueller. On to Wendell Meyer. Wendell is the Federal Highway Administration Division Administrator. He comes to Minnesota through North Dakota and Kansas, prior engagements through the Federal Administration, Federal Highway Administration. So we welcome Wendell Meyer to Austin and to the microphone. Wendell, please forward.
I'm going to play a shell game here just so I don't mess somebody's story up today, but I appreciate the invite, and personally I want to thank the Minnesota Department of Transportation, Commissioner Nancy Dobbenberger, and the district engineer here, Mark Schoenfelder. I don't think he's here today, but his staff and your staff, Nancy, have done a great job, and so I appreciate the invite for this groundbreaking event. The Federal Highway Administration appreciates the many partners who got us to this milestone today, including but not limited to Governor Walz, our elected and federal state representatives, the Minnesota Department of Transportation, Mower County, and the City of Austin, and other local stakeholders, including the labor and business community. The Federal Highway Administration's mission is to deliver a world-class highway programs that advance safe, efficient, equitable, and sustainable mobility choices for all, while strengthening the nation's economy. Our role continues to be one that is federally assisted, state and locally administered, and is a hallmark of how we work together with our partners on so many key infrastructure projects across the state of Minnesota. I-90 being a part of the Eisenhower Interstate system, as well as a significant highway and multimodal freight corridor, connects vital economic centers across the United States. And as you heard, in fact, I-90 through the city of Austin was one of the first sections of the interstate constructed in Minnesota back in the late 1950s. These bridges have served the transportation network for about 65 years, and we are well past the useful life of their design. Boosted by the historic levels of the funding from the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, most commonly known as the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, we have made great strides towards transforming our transportation system. In fiscal year 22, the U.S. Department of Transportation awarded a $25 million Infrastructure for Rebuilding America, or INFRA, competitive grant to this project. These funds aid in the total project cost of about $50 million to replace the aging bridges, connect the community with improved walking and biking, and enhance the mobility and safety for all users of the transportation corridor. congratulations on getting this project underway, and we look forward to its completion in the future.
Thank you, Wendell. And thanks for all the help from the Federal Highway Administration to get this project done. Thank you. Next up is Jason George. He's a business manager for the International Union of Operating Engineers. Jason is one of those folks, I'm sure, that just keeps people, wants people employed. They want to keep the smartest, the brightest, all the skilled laborers trained and providing good wages. So please welcome to the microphone, Jason George.
Thanks, Mayor. I am privileged and honored to be the elected leader of the Operating Engineers Local 49, the largest construction union in the state. Our folks are the heavy equipment operators that you see all over this state right now building it. It's an honor to be here today. I just want to say a couple things. One, the importance of infrastructure jobs. In our view, there is no better money spent by the public than on infrastructure. It helps the community, it helps labor, and it helps business. It helps the community get around, helps business owners expand their business, create jobs, and it helps our union members make a living. And it also helps the state of Minnesota build the entire state and things that we need. So these jobs are critically important. And for a long time, I've been around for about 15 years, we were talking about infrastructure, not doing it. I'd like to thank President Biden, the senators, Congress, and the state of Minnesota under Governor Walz's leadership, and both Republicans and Democrats in the legislature that have supported infrastructure investments in Minnesota that we need it forever. And they got it done. And you're seeing the result today. Our members are going to be working, our partners at Ullin Brothers and Lunda are going to be building these bridges and these highways in conjunction with our members. And it's a great thing for this state. So I applaud all of you for stepping up. Too long, it was infrastructure week forever, right? Now infrastructure is happening, and it's because of the work that's been done to pass that legislation federally and here at the state. And now our members there'll be members that start their career in this job as an apprentice, and there'll be members that this might be their last job towards retirement. That's what kind of impact it means in the real world for real people. And I couldn't be prouder to be here and be a part of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. I appreciate you mentioning the Ullin Brothers. They're a great partner with Austin for many projects, and they happen to be the construction prime contractor for this project. So we thank the Ullin Brothers for their efforts. Also, this project will be just shy of $50 million project. I don't think that was mentioned yet. That's a lot of investment, and I know it'll be money well used. So last on our agenda is the Minnesota Department of Transportation's Commissioner, Nancy Daubenberger. Nancy has spent over 20 years with MnDOT and being named commissioner of the Minnesota Department of Transportation by my new friend, Governor Walz, in 2022. So I guess maybe if this is where the applications come for the corrections or Department of Transportation commissioners, if there's ever available, my day job is in corrections. So if you need a new commissioner for corrections, I just want to apply right now if I could. Thank you. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome to the microphone Minnesota Department of Corrections, Department of Transportation Commissioner Nancy Daubenberger.
Thank you, Mayor. I think I'll stick with transportation because this is great. It is such an honor to be with you all today, kicking off the groundbreaking for what we call the I-90 Bridges project, and a very important project for us. So on behalf of all of our MnDOT employees who are working here and on more than 200 road projects this season across our state, thank you all for attending today. Your participation and our lineup of speakers here today really signifies the importance of this project to the community of Austin, as well as to all those who travel our great state of Minnesota. And we all have a role in the project's success. In every project that we encounter on our roads, our contractor, Ullin Brothers, and their sub, Lunda Construction, who's going to build the bridges, and their other subs and suppliers, all of our inspectors, our engineers, and the consultants. So our District 6 staff here, and headquartered out of Rochester, as well as SRF Consulting, who helped to design the project. They all know their roles and the importance of getting it right and getting it done safely. Traffic safety, as well as the safety of our infrastructure, is paramount and our priority every day and on each day as we're out here. And as you've heard from our speakers here today, the project weaves together so many important people who've helped develop this project since its very early days of project development, and the public engagement in the community has been so important. The lawmakers who've been able to secure the resources to move this generational project forward, and our federal and local partners, so many others who experience and expertise have guided the development work. And a shout out to the City of Austin, city engineer and their staff for helping our district folks along the way. And they'll continue to guide the construction work through the 3 years of the construction that'll be out here. MnDOT values many partners on a project like this. And I particularly want to say thank you to our Governor Walz and Senators Klobuchar and Smith for your support of the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, or IIJA, that's making projects like this possible around the state. Supportive law and all that you've been bringing back to Minnesota. Thank you so much for that. And as I close, I want to say just a reminder on safety. This is where we all come in. By slowing down, putting away distractions, paying attention, and moving over, we can provide better safety to all the men and women who are out there with their hard hats and their high-vis vests, so they can go home at the end of the day in the same shape that they came to work. And on that note, on Monday, I will be coming back down to Rochester and then back to the Twin Cities for Worker Memorial Day events, where we remember and honor the employees and our contractors who've lost their lives on Minnesota's roadways. It's an annual gathering that always serves as a reminder to ask all of us every day, please ask yourselves, what can you do so each person on our road arrives home safely at the end of the day? Thank you very much.
Thanks, Commissioner.
Thank you, Nancy. And just in closing, I'd like to this is absolute a visual. The folks behind me is absolutely a visual of what partnership does in the real world and any world. The only way to get projects done is through partnership. So we certainly appreciate the local City of Austin commitment, the Moore County's commitment, the federal government's commitment, and the state of Minnesota's commitment. So this project and all those folks that will be actually doing the work through the laborers, we certainly appreciate all that will happen in the next couple of years. Stop down anytime along the project and certainly come back when it's all done and see the transformation of the city with all these new bridges coming in. So thanks all for coming. We're going to throw some dirt around, and the way the wind's kicking, you'll get an eye full of it. Sure, one question. This is fun for me. Oh. Animal underpasses for the safety ban. I'm not sure about animal underpasses on this project. Yeah. You know who would know that information is our communications guy, Mike Doherty, I'm sure, or our Commissioner of Department of Transportation, Nancy.
Thank you for that question. Yeah, those animal underpass areas or critter crossings, as we tend to call them at MnDOT, are very important. On this project, I am looking to our district staff to see if that's the question. Is there going to be on this project? Jai Kelsey, you want to address that, please?
Come on up, Jai.
Experts.
Yeah, there will be one critter pass under the Cedar River bridges, so we've made provisions for critters there. Yeah.
Way to go, Jai.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
That's a pretty specific question. Well done.
All right, let's get some hard hats on and throw some dirt. Thank you all for your attendance.
Thank you. You know what's good? We've done enough of this. We know how this goes now. Shovel, pull, wait. Who's calling it for me? Oh.